Hello, everyone. Guess what? We're doing a spiritual check-in. And I found that it would be more useful for me to do a weekly spiritual check-in with you guys, because what ends up happening is that I can update you on all the millions of things that are going on in our lives. And also, I get to find out what's going on in your lives. And also, I get to talk spiritual talk. And also, there's no time limit and it's out of the schedule, so to speak. This is just our time. And it's also a spiritual check-in, meaning that like we can go over, you can chat and you can go over with me what you are going through. I am constantly trying new formats here. So I just want to make sure my chats are up and everything is working like clockwork. And that's what we want. We are little updates. Okay. We are updating our set, but mainly equipment wise. So it has been a lot and it's taking like literally it's going to take the rest of the week. We have new cameras coming. We're going to do live switching. We're going to have multi cameras. We're just going to be literally next level. So while that's happening, it's hard to film during that time, but I wanted to go over some goodies and things that are happening in our lives, things that we can offer you. So if you're coming on, please say hello. My chats haven't showed up yet. Let me see. Let me refresh the page. Let's see if anybody's here. I see 4 people are watching, but I don't see any chats yet. Feel free to say hello and let me know where you're from. I'm Lady O, and I'm a shaman. I'm a healer. I'm an empath. I'm an intuitive empath. I teach how to be an empath on the planet so you don't go crazy. I'm very, I think, unique in my style because I let you in kind of like behind the scenes, almost like you're a part of the process of our podcast since day one, August 2023, when we first started. And it's been a learning curve because this is not our profession, is to do podcasts. Our profession is to be professional shamans and psychic healers and mediums and all that stuff. So for us to actually, oh, interesting. I'm seeing the signal coming in and out. I hope that straightens out. So you guys have watched my husband and I, for those of you who have been watching us, you have watched us literally put this podcast together from day one. So many sets, so many shows, over 1,000 videos. I mean, it has been, I can't even tell you what this experience has been like to have this podcast. And I'm just looking at the signal strength right now. And I'm wondering why it's coming in and out. But I am streaming in a higher 4K resolution, so maybe that's what it is. I see my chat comes in and out, so I saw for a second. I think I saw the word Amy. Yeah, well, there it disappears again. It keeps disappearing. Oh, there we are. It's hidden all the way down here. Hey, Amy and Debbie and Maria. I was hoping you East Coasters will be catching you at a good time when you're nice and tired and cozy, the end of your day, and you have a little spiritual check-in. Don't you like a spiritual check-in? So it's not only a spiritual check-in for you guys and your own spiritual life, but it's also a check-in to all the things, all the fun things that we're doing and all the opportunities and ways that you can connect with us and ways that you can become a better healer, and ways that you can become a better human, better mother, better wife, better friend, and also a better mother to yourself. And as we're prepping for Mother's Day, you should be prepping for How to Mother Yourself Day, because that's really what's most important, is how to mother yourself. So I'm saying hello to David Bender. So you're a psychic. Do you know the late Jean Dixon from the 19? Hold on. The 19. 80s. I can't see either way. Okay, great. I'm just basically going blind. She was a psychic for President Ronald. Oh, no, I didn't. Your connection is spotty. Yeah, I know. It's weird, right? I'm just looking at it because I have full Wi-Fi. There's moments I'm coming in nice and smooth, and then it's coming in and out. And I have a high-speed internet, so it's not that. I'm wondering if it's a frames per second thing. But I don't think I can solve that while I'm actually filming. So if it's not bothering you guys too much, let me just see my audio or my output. Yeah, it's a little high. Let me see if I can adjust something. If it's not bothering you guys too much, I'm just going to leave it and then we'll just get started. So I know that you are probably surprised because I didn't schedule this particular show. I just kind of like surprise. But sometimes that's the best, right? You're just doing your thing and all of a sudden, hey, spiritual check-in time. So who doesn't want that? Okay. All right. So let's see. Hi, Amy. So grateful for your podcast. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. You're welcome. Maria, I'm lounging on my swing outside on my porch. Perfection after an 80s day in Boston. Wow. That's great. It was pretty warm out here too. Okay, good. So the Wi-Fi is okay. It's coming in and out. So let's take a breath. Riz, if you guys want to know what he's doing, he just got back from Mount Shasta, and that's one of our most popular retreats. So he usually, I mean, sometimes I go, but usually he goes by himself, and it's a deep healing retreat weekend. So you go up into the mountains and you're there by the streams and lakes, and you stay in a beautiful house, and you have like a prepared meal, and you have a chef there, and you have like, it's a very cozy, safe environment, and you get to do your plant medicine journeys, and Riz guides you in a shamanic ceremony, and he takes you through the whole experience. So it's really, really, really healing. So if you're interested in Shasta, I think we're done for the year. So that you would have to wait till next year, unfortunately, if you want to do that. So the topic of discussion, Richard, it's called the spiritual check-in because I'm going to be going over a few items. First of all, I'm going to go over some of the stuff that's going on in our personal life right now. So I'm going to go over that really quick with you. It's important. And when I say personal life, I mean not our like home with the kids life. I'm talking about our personal work life, which is our shamanic side, our healing arts, the things that we do to share with the world. And so one of the things I'm offering that I am very excited about, and it was spurred on from my last live, vertical live. I call it a vertical live because I'm coming in vertical style. So it's called, this is a new class that I created called the Healer's Path. And let me see if I can pull it up. The Healer's Path, of course, now it doesn't want to show. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. The Healer's Path is helping people coming out of their darkness, helping people to recognize that there is a darkness when they're suffering and how to get out of it, how to heal from what we call dark night of the soul. And it looks like I might have to reload it because it's not wanting to play. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Nope. It's hiding from me. I wanted to show you a little clip it. I'm just going to have to put it in again. So it's 4 classes, and I have already posted it on the under posts. If you go to the community posts, I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but on the front page where all the tabs are, where it says live and videos and shorts, there's a little tab that says posts, and every YouTube channel has that. And that's where you get to communicate with your community, and you get to do it in a way that's like, it's kind of like a newsletter, but it's for YouTube. So if you go to posts, you'll see that I have been posting a lot of stuff, but here we go. This is what I want you to see. So the Healer's Path is basically what happens when you find out that what you've been going through in your life was not just the worst things or the traumas or the hellish life that you feel like you went through, or even the difficult life. And then it was for no reason. It was like you just did it because you thought you had to survive, and that was the only reason that you went through it. You'll discover when you get to the other side of this that you actually created this life a particular way, and you did it on purpose because you're here to actually learn how to help others. I call it the healer's path. The healer's path is basically, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. And if you're interested, there's information on how to sign up, and you can see it under the post section. So, may I send you money, please? Of course. I'm never going to turn down money. So the reason I'm doing this is because during this time frame right now in life, we're experiencing a lot of quote unquote darkness. A lot of people feel there's a lot of chaos and confusion. So you have your own personal chaos and confusion, your own personal darkness, and then you have the world's personal darkness. So you feel like you're just living in darkness. Yes, but there is actually more to it. There's actually a whole bunch of people living in the light, and there's a whole bunch of communities and households and families that are very, very happy living in the light, and they're having a grand old time. And those are the people that have kind of come through the dark night of the soul. So that just means that you went through your tunnel, your unawakened stage. You went through the time period in your life where you're going to be kind of hitting the wall a lot of times and feeling a lot of pain and suffering. But believe it or not, it comes to an end. And it comes to an end when you start understanding that you are kind of like in the driver's seat, not in the back seat of your car, but you're in the front seat. You're grabbing the wheel. And that's kind of what my job is. I like to teach people how to grab the wheel, how to get control over your life. And I go into like the nuances and the step-by-step of how to get control of your life, because a lot of people are so panicked by then and so frantic. They don't know, first of all, that they're even in a car. They don't even know they're in the back seat. They don't even know there's a chance that they can even be a driver of their own life. They have no idea they could even put their hands on the wheel. There's a lot of, there's a big unawareness that's happening. A lack of awareness that's happening with people. So they don't understand that you actually have a way out. Some of you have already gone through this and are on the other side. And if you are in the chat room here, just let people know that you're on the other side. You're now past the dark night of the soul, and you're now either a healer or working with people, or you're healing yourself, and what stage of healing you're in. If you want to share with others, it gives them inspiration. If you feel that, like right now, if you're listening and you feel like you're in darkness right now and you're scared, or you just don't know what's happening in the world, sometimes when you see other people in the chat room that are not in darkness, it's not because they're lucky or they have been dealt different hands, different cards. It's because they paid their dues. They already went through it, and then now they're done and they're on the other side. And it's not like we're trying to pray it away either. And this is not about just, positive affirmations. And this is not about just repeating mantras. This is about actually changing your life from the ground up. And that's what I teach. And sometimes I'm wild, and sometimes I'm loud, and sometimes I'm crazy, and sometimes I'm calm. I'm like a normal person with a lot of range. And that's my teaching style. So some people love it. Some people get scared, and whatever, if you can handle it and take it. I'm very passionate about it because I myself went through it, and I know what it's like to go into darkness due to pain and suffering and giving up on life and giving up on everything, including myself. And then I know what it's like to be in that for 25 years. And I also know what it's like to come out on the other side. So I have dedicated the rest of my life since then, since I was 37. I started coming out 2003 is when I started my transformational journey to find out basically what's wrong with me. And I started going to tons of courses and taking classes and healing arts. But it was that I was just repeating patterns. It was addiction patterns. It was my family patterns. It was just all unconscious behavior. So somewhere around 36, 37, I started to get the idea that I'm in control here. So by the time I was 37, I really started graduating. And then by the time I was 38, I had a huge awakening because I realized that it was really all me creating the darkness and all me creating the light. So then that's when I just really stood up tall and brushed myself off and went, holy shit, I think I actually need to pay attention to the road. And so I started really cleaning up my act, cleaning up my household, cleaning up my relationships, cleaning up my brain, repairing myself from all the damage I did during those 25 years. And it took me 6 or 7 intensive years to do that. And now I'm 52. I'm going to be 53 May 8th. My birthday's coming up. So So I would say at 37 is when I had my awakening. I'm 52 now. I spent 6 years in deep healing mode. And then even while I was in healing mode, I started teaching and giving life coaching. So I was so excited about being out of the darkness. First of all, I didn't even know there was an option. I had no idea I can ever get out of the darkness. I thought I was just going to be in there forever. So when I found out that I could get out of the darkness, it was incredible. I was so excited. Let me see if I can loop this video. Yeah. I was so excited. And I was like, if I could do it, anybody can do it. Because, you know, I even though I had a lot of influences that could have gotten me here to this point, I still didn't feel like I had a lot of support. And I'm an only child. And I just felt like I was raising my kids by myself. And there was just so much domestic violence. And it was so much alcoholism. And there's so much insanity. And I just didn't think I was going to make it. And anyone around me was going to make it. But I did. And I'm here, and I have been sharing my story and how I did it ever since. And I turned it into a full-fledged giant business that can be exhausting if I don't watch it. So I have to take excellent care of myself. And my keto program is doing very well. I'm on the 3rd week. I'm losing some weight. I'm excited. Okay. Hi, James. Hi, Eric. Hi, Joseph Graham. Thank you for my tattoos. My favorite one is my neck tattoo. That's my favorite tattoo. I designed all my tattoos. I have also these. Really see it? Can you? These. And then I have, like, when I get too hot, I'll take it all off. I have all the arm tattoos. So that's how I like to decorate myself, because I'm an artist. Hello, Florence. Hello, Nancy. It's my first time on YouTube Live. DE, congratulations. And I cannot understand what's happening and who are people talking to. Can you see the video? You are talking to Lady O, myself. I'm an intuitive empath, and I'm here to kind of guide you. This is what our podcast is about. My husband and I both have been doing this for 15 years in person with people every day, working out of our home and online, but primarily in person. My husband is Trance Channel Psychic Medium Riz Mirza, and I'm an intuitive empath. So what I do is I help people get through their most heaviest darkness and their heaviest sadnesses, their traumas. And, you know, I used to call myself a trauma life coach, but it doesn't feel as good. So I like actually just saying, I like to help you get on your healer's path. I like to show you how to be on your healer's path and not resist your healer's path. So I created this course that you guys are seeing it rotate here. This course that you're seeing, there's 4 courses, and each one of them tackles different things. How to remove darkness from your life. So that's a whole course. It's private on YouTube. You just pay your entrance fee. You sit in the class with everyone else. You don't have to show your face. And I will teach you just like this. You can ask questions, and we will go into how to get out of the most stuck places in your life where you just feel like absolutely no hope and you don't know how to straighten out your whole being. And I walk you step by step through every single thing that I did, everything from checking hormones, checking the diet, checking how I speak, my mental game, where I'm at inside my heart, like my mind, like my interior self. I had to do a full systems check, and then check my environment outside and do a full systems check if this environment is suitable for me. So there's a whole thing that goes into coming out of the darkness, because you have to like kind of reinvent yourself, and you have to really establish your new life, basically, because you're not going to want to hang out with the same people and talk about the same things and eat the same foods. And you definitely are not going to want to be doing any kind of addictive things like drugs and alcohol, because that's not going to help. So it's literally a whole new life change. So that's one of the classes, how to be a light worker in dark times. That's also a big question people ask me all the time is, how can I help people when I don't want to get sucked into the darkness myself? That takes guts. And that's kind of what I do. You have to be kind of you can't be weak. You got to be kind of Viking, okay? To work with other people's darknesses, because when you're in an unconscious state and you're in your own pain and suffering and darkness, you tend to be panic stricken, and you tend to be very argumentative and defensive, and you're on a high survivor mode. So you're not really paying attention in a civil way to anybody. So to work with people like that, you have to be able to handle anything. And since I've been through it myself, I have a lot of compassion and I have a lot of patience for people going through it. And I've worked with a ton of people, and so has my husband. Thank you, Amy. Hi, Nancy. Okay. So Amy says, I was living in a very dark place for 15 years. I tried to leave this world multiple times. I woke up about a year and a half ago, exactly as you described. I am at the happiest I've ever been. You see, when you talk like that, Amy, it really encourages other people. And so it's really good that you said that. So, okay. So that's my 4 classes. If anybody's interested in that, oops, wrong box. So fun being your own engineer. Okay, let's see if I can remove this. Nope. I keep hitting the same thing. So let me just delete it from here. Let me see, maybe, nope. This, yeah, there we go. Also, I want to go over, as we're doing updates, I'm going to go over one of the next fun things. So this is really exciting and new. We haven't done this before. This is brand new, but we're going to be doing challenges, and they're going to be comment challenges, and you can literally win in a raffle. You can win Oracle deck cards. You can win private readings with me or Riz or Erica, who's an astrologer. And all you have to do is including this video and the last 5 videos. If we hit our goal, we have a target goal. If you go to the posts on YouTube, let me see if I could pull it up. I believe it's 250. Okay, here we go. So if any of the videos out of the 5 videos, the last 5 videos, including this one, reaches 200 comments from any one of you, I will select one person. So consider that a raffle. And that one person in this case will be getting the Riz the Wiz Oracle deck, which is super, super cool. And the Oracle deck can be found here. If you guys want to take a look at it, we have 2 decks, and one of the decks is my husband's deck. And I'm going to drop that in the chat. You can see it there. So we have 2 decks. So that's one of the giveaways that we're doing. And you can comment as many times as you want. Just don't copy and paste, and nothing repetitive, because that will get you banned from it. But if you comment, I don't know if you can comment while there's a live, but after this live is over, you can comment, or you can go on the last 5 videos that's up on YouTube on the front page. And if you comment, hopefully something nice, because, you know, that's how you'll win good karma with yourself, right? You want to win, right? So if you post good comments and you post as many times as you want, as long as we reach that goal. So whichever video reaches that goal is going to be one person will be picked, and we will reply to your comment that you've been selected, and we'll get your information, and we'll mail you out a copy of the Riz the Wiz Oracle deck. So it's super cool. This is a fun challenge. This is one of the many that are coming. We have future giveaways where we're going to give away a shaman smudge kit set. We're also going to give away shaman drum. We're also going to give away my Oracle deck, which is the House Witch Oracle deck. And also for some of our bigger challenges, we'll even do the 15-minute reading with Riz, myself, or Erica. So we are really, really excited about this. This is going to be so fun because we love any kind of games or any challenges. And so this is going to be like really fun to do. So if you guys want to do that, you can even do it while you're listening to me. If you open up another tab, you can just go and start commenting if you want. You have to be subscribed for it to count. And that is that announcement. And my last announcement before we start talking about all the other goodies, my last announcement is, of course, this is such an imperfect thing. Okay, so this is one of the lives that we're going to do, although I took a poll and everybody wanted to talk about how to increase your magic, more magic in your life on a daily basis. we will do that one. But this one is called How the Divine Mother Works in You. Now, you hear the word Divine Mother and you think, is it just for females, or you think that this is like, I don't know what you think when you hear the word Divine Mother. But what you don't realize is that you are the Divine Mother, and you don't know you're the Divine Mother until somebody explains what a Divine Mother is and how a Divine Mother is in all things. And when you are mothering yourself or your plants or your kids or your house or your work or anything, anytime you mother anything, you bring that motherly energy. That's the Divine Mother. So that if you have success in any of your areas of life, you'll notice you're bringing motherly energy to it, not overwhelming bad mother energy when you have bad connotations of mother, like motherhood, mother, like your mother. If you weren't happy with that, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the aspect, the feeling of being motherly. Okay, so that's coming in May, which I'm also excited about because it's Mother's Day. I just can't move this box. There we go. One day I'll have an engineer. Okay. So all my little announcements are done. I hope you guys like them. Okay, so hello to everybody coming in, and I look how Lana Del Rey will look in 40 years. That's funny. That's funny. And I like how she's kind of melodramatic too. Matcha, and I put a shot of coffee in my matcha. Can you believe that? Some people think that's so gross. It probably is. Hi, John. Welcome to the show. Okay, so now let's jump into you guys. Now that you guys have heard all my good stuff and all my announcements, now I want to talk about you. So what I want to discuss today, if you guys are open to it, kind of a heavy topic if you want to. You don't have to talk about this. You can talk about whatever you want. But if you want to talk about how to start to heal, how to implement changes in your life to get to the goals you want to get to when you are coming out of very deep trauma, you're trying to reinvent, or you're trying to figure out how to end repetitive trauma, family trauma, individual trauma, as you're learning how to do that, sometimes you can get a little lost because it gets really intense. So I have these like ways that works, tried and true ways that I've used that help you to find your feet again and to feel grounded, and you can start to like function and go kind of reinvent yourself into a new you. So if you have any questions about that, I'd be more than happy to answer. You can ask me any questions about anything. Please tell me where you're coming from. Also, I would love to hear what part of the country or world you're coming from. And I'm on a little 1 minute delay here. Hello, Ellie. So I'm seeing a lot of new people here today, which is really cool. So you guys should check out our Sunday Psychic Pizza Party live. And on Sundays, I go live with my husband, Psychic Medium Trance Channel. So he takes your Psychic Medium questions. It's Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So set your notification bell or set your calendar and wait until we put our notification. I'm trying to do a thing where I'm filming as much as possible when we are in town, because we travel so much. We lead sacred earth retreats. We lead retreats around the world to Egypt, India, Glastonbury, Japan, and Sedona, Mount Shasta, all the sacred sites. And so, and we haven't done Machu Picchu yet. I have a issue with high altitude at that level. So I don't know if I'll ever be doing that. But that's what we do 5 to 6 times a year, which means we leave like every 6 weeks. So I try to film as much as possible in between. And I also have a new show with my assistant E, who you guys may remember, or those of you who know her, who's on the show with us as our moderator and helps with the chat room. She's an astrologer, and so she comes on and helps by sharing a lot of astrological information. Okay, so let's see, any questiones? Okay. So no questions yet. That's fine. Okay. So let me just give you some information then. Let me refresh my page. I'll give you some information on how to reinvent yourself when you're coming out of darkness. So first of all, you have to acknowledge that you were in darkness. And what does that mean? So all that means is all the information that you are focusing on, things that you're thinking about, things that you watch, things that you read and absorb, things that you are talking about with other people are all low vibrational, negative, fear-based conversations. All the shows that you watch, everything you do. Now, you can still, when you're in the light, you can still watch low vibrational shows as long as you have perspective. But some people live in this reality that they created that everything's going to shit. This whole planet is doomed. And yeah, okay, fine. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But how about your day-to-day, everyday life? Can you make that peaceful, good, and high vibrational? And why would you want to? My way of looking at it is if you're going to go to a party, you might as well have a good time. So if you're here, you might as well have fun. If you're here to just torture yourself, basically, and be upset, it's not as fun of a ride. So you kind of want to have a good time. And if you blame everybody else for making it bad for you, then it kind of anchors you into this routine. You're never going to get out of it, because as long as you give them all the power, there's no way that you're going to be able to switch any gears. Okay. So let me see. So it's very important that you look into, check yourself. Lana Del Rey is 40. Oh, okay. So you may want to like check in with yourself here just to see where you're at. Now, if you are in darkness, quote unquote, based on my definitions, and if you are angry and you have no desire to get out of it, that's fine. It's totally fine. Nobody's telling you to do anything. The only time I suggest it is when your quality of life starts to go down and your quality of life starts to suffer, and there's lack of peace to such a degree that you're so hurt that you even came here to this planet that you don't even want to be here anymore. And also you just don't like anyone and you can't really just function anymore, and you start shutting down and isolating. So when you start doing that, especially if you're a very sensitive empath, or you can call yourself a sensitive, so these are the reasons why it's not a good idea to stay too long in the darkness, because usually there's fear, because they go hand in hand. Usually there's anger because you're mad about your situation. Usually there's depression because you're sad that you're in the situation. Usually there's self-pity. If you're in self-pity, you're going to stay in darkness because you just feel like you're hopeless, meaning that everybody else is doing something to you and you have no control over it. And it does probably look that way, but the reality is you can get out of any situation at any time. There's always a way. There's never a way, there's never a block that will prevent you from changing or inventing yourself. Ever, ever, ever. You will always be able to invent yourself. You can always start over. You can always start wherever you're at. It's never too late. It's never too bad. It's never hopeless. Don't sell yourself on that bag of goods. Hang on, I need a tissue. Of course, where did I move it? Can somebody bring my tissue box to me? Did you take it from me? No. It's supposed to be around here somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. Thank you. See if I can catch it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. See how casual these check-ins are? This is not like a regular show. This is just a check-in show. So it's like you're hanging out with your friend, okay? Your spiritual friend who's going to tell you how it is. Who's going to show you some signposts and some green light, red light, yellow light. And I try to make it fun, because what's the point? Like, I don't want to teach, like, sometimes I'm ball busting, but for the most part, I like to teach where it's like we're hanging out. And I like to teach it in a way where it kind of goes in, like you really actually receive this information. Because if it's too lofty, the way it sounds, like too out there, like way too far out of reach, then you don't feel like it's for you and you don't feel like you can actually do anything about it. Okay. So Nancy says, I had to stop watching certain shows. It was affecting me, and it it was the genres I used to love. That's so true. So true. When I was vibing low, I was watching so much true crime. I know. And reading Stephen King. And now I'm very sensitive to anything that level. I know. Now, here's the thing. For those Stephen King true crime fan people, listen, I've come so far out of the darkness. I'm very comfortable. So I can go back into darkness because I'm just chilling and vibing in the light at all times, just naturally now. So because all my systems are locked in place. That's why. It's not because I'm special or some miracle, but it's because I locked in my new framework. I locked in my new belief systems. I locked in my new way of thinking. So it's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? So now, because I feel so confident in myself, I can go take little tours as a visitor and go watch a scary movie or go to haunted houses and go into Universal Studios and go to the haunted lot and do tours. And I even did a paranormal show with my husband recently, or I could, I can go into darkness and it doesn't affect me because I have such a bright light in myself that I just like illuminate the heck out of wherever I'm at. And if I watch something, I'm watching something in my light. So it's not doing anything to me. I don't feel sucked in. However, before I was really locked into my sanity and who I am today, I would get triggered and I would watch scary things and it would trigger me. And the more scary things I watched, the more I felt like that was just life. And then I'd watch the news and all the scary reports and I'd hear all the horrible things and people going crazy and everybody jumping off of buildings. And I would just freak out and I just couldn't handle it. And I'm a sensitive empath and my nervous system was already shot. So it took a lot of work for me to figure out how to get out of all of that. So part of it was I had to like heal my nervous system. So there was a time where I had to stop driving for a while because in Southern California and these Los Angeles freeways, they are so crazy. So I had to like stop, just only like surface streets. I just stopped driving all the time. I had to relax my nervous system by giving myself a lot of silent time, a lot of time away from people, but not isolation because I felt bad and lonely and scared. Isolation, but it was high vibrational. So I was like in the garden, or I was in the sun, or I was in the pool, like swimming, or I was walking in the little forests that we have around here and the hiking trails, or I was playing with my animals, or I was drawing or taking little breaks. So it was very important. I started to feed that little scared inner child of mine that was freaking out. Let me check in with you guys. You're obsessed with the paranormal. I know. It's so fun. How to deal with shame for cheating in a class. Well, depends on what class. Are you talking about a real life class, like a real life university school or school? Shame is a big one. Shame and guilt go hand in hand, don't they? Let me think about this for a minute because shame is not easy. It's very slippery. If you look at shame from the right angle, shame is actually pointing you in a direction. You have to see what direction it's pointing you in. So it's like layered because there's a part of you that's actually, there's some truth to what you believe, but then you try to cover it and then you feel embarrassed that you didn't fit into the environment, or you did something that wasn't your truth and then you tried to cover it and then you tried to fit into your environment. Either way, the starting point, the source is that you are grappling with your truth. So if your truth is you're in school because you really want to be in school, then it doesn't matter if you skip a class or you cheat or do something like that, because what you do is you rectify that and you want it so bad that you'll rectify it any which way you can and want to, and you will fix it because you want to be in that class. And no matter what, you do not want to be dropped from that class. So even if you made the mistake, you would still do whatever you can to fix it. Now, if you have shame, it's because you're covering something. It's not just covering the action. You have to go further back than that. You're actually covering your belief. So your belief is either you're doing school for someone else, or you don't know why you're in school, or you don't really want to be in school, but you're trying to sell it to yourself every day and tell yourself you want to be in school. And then you cheat, and then you don't feel whole and complete. You feel like you're a fraud because your truth is you feel like a fraud from the beginning. See, let me go over that again. If you cheated, but you really, really are passionate about being in school, like nobody can take that from you. That's like the closest thing to your heart. Then you will find a way to make sure that's rectified. You would make sure that you solve that, and you will be empowered, and you'll be forward action, and you would be on top of your game. You do not want them to get that impression. You would do whatever it takes. You would talk to whoever you have to. You would not be in any shame whatsoever. You would actually be the opposite. You would be in the light, bright lights, open, transparent. Here's what's happening. This is what I need to do. This is how I'm going to fix it. I need to solve this. I don't want to be kicked out of class, right? Because the rules of the game in school is not to cheat. So if you cheat, you already know you're breaking the rules, just like any other rules for any other industry, right? So shame is tricky because it's actually an arrow. It's pointing in a direction. It's actually pointing to you. It's actually showing your truth. And your truth is you really are not one with the experience. It's not holistic. It's not feeding you. It's not who you really are. It's not coming forward like you are a powerhouse and like super in your truth being in school. It's almost like you're going to skirt by on the edges, and you're going to be kind of shady, and you just hope to get through it. You don't really want to, and you just kind of do. And then you kind of cheat, and then you just hope it's okay, and then you live in shame. You're not living in shame about cheating. You're living in shame that you're in school because you're lying to yourself. I'm just telling you mathematically how this pans out if you reverse engineer this. I'm not actually telling you my belief system. I'm just showing you the actual laws of nature here. So that's really what you have to look at. The shame is just pointing to you if this is your truth to even be in it. Now, let's talk about shame in cheating, like in a relationship, in a marriage. Okay. So let's say you have a lot of shame. At the time when you cheated, you probably didn't care what your spouse or partner thought. So then there's shame afterwards, especially if they find out or you want to kind of clean it up with the person. You have shame about your behavior. As long as that shame is productive, as long as that shame moves you into forward moving reinvention and changing your behavior, that was productive for the time that you had the shame, and it was quick. And it was to the point. I feel shame. I feel embarrassed that I cheated. I shouldn't have done that. Let me get clear with my spouse. Let me clean this up. Let me get on the same page. Let me fight for this. So then you move through shame, and then you get past that shame really quickly, because now you want to show. Now you're in the forward action. You want to show you're not in the shadows. You're in the light. You want to show that you're good now. Let's make this good between me and you. What do I have to do? Who do I have to be? Let's go to couples counseling. Let's do this. Let's do that. So that's kind of how you have to look at the word shame. Shame points you in a direction. Okay. Let me see who's joined us. So, hello, Ball. How are you? Keith, I could use a spiritual check-in. My beast is tired, and my beast is tired, and my being is tired of whipping him. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so how to not be hard on yourself. How to not be hard on yourself 101. Imagine if I had that class, how to not be hard on yourself. I'll have more people sign up for that course than any other course. Maybe that should be one of my courses. How not to be hard on yourself. To give yourself a fighting chance. you would have to give yourself every opportunity to move forward and unchain yourself and unlock yourself and take off the tethers that hold you to depression, sadness, anger, shame, victimhood. So in order to move forward and evolve, you would have to take these chains off of you because you're being tied down. So when you're tied down, what happens is you take the whip out and you start whipping the beast. You start whipping yourself into shape, right? Because you can't figure out how to. It's kind of like a little bit prehistoric, like not prehistoric, primal. It's very primal. And I've done it myself, so I can talk about it, but it's very primal when you're hard on yourself, because it's kind of like, instead of looking at it as a technician or an engineer, you're looking at it as like you have a stick, and if you hit it enough times, maybe it'll succumb and like give in and then like surrender and then maybe change, right? And it never works, because the more you hit it, the more it repels and retreats, and the more you feel unsafe. So then you start to feel like, well, what's the point? What am I doing here? So I'm just hurting myself, and everyone else is hurting me, and I'm hurting myself. So this is just like a dead end. So you're exhausted from that. So the technique here is to not hit yourself. And how you hit yourself is verbally. Do not abuse yourself. So when you listen to your words, some of the words that you say to yourself are things other people have told you about yourself growing up and your whole life. Like, I don't belong, you're weird, you're different. What's wrong with you? Nobody can talk to you. Why are you so this and why are you so that? Whatever it is. And you take on whatever you hear other people tell you, and then you start whipping yourself with it, with that terminology or that phrase. Then on top of that, you have your own personal frustrations, because maybe you're trying to reach a goal or get that job, or you're trying to do something, or you get into a relationship and you are having no luck. It's not working. And so you take the whip out and you start cracking the whip, or you start hitting yourself with a stick because you're bad and you did it wrong. And so therefore that's supposed to help. Imagine if you did that to your computer. I want everybody to just visualize that for a second. And this is how I like to lock things in to help people the fastest, is I give you these little visuals. So imagine you're looking at your laptop, your access to life, and you take your stick and you start hitting it. How come you don't act the way I want you to act? And why is the cursor not going the way it's supposed to? And why is it glitching and blah, blah, blah? And you just keep hitting it. I mean, like, literally, what is that going to do for you? Literally, it doesn't do anything. So the point of what I'm saying is the best way to pause here. Okay, I got to get this off. It is way too hot. Okay. I got my little setup here with my water, my matcha. Do you guys like these little spiritual drop-ins? So yeah, that's the whipping stick. Yes, primal, the intelligence meeting the biological. The biological is tired and the intelligence is out of treats to coax the biological to keep going. Well, Keith, I know exactly what you're talking about. How to coax the intelligent part of you into learning. It's a very intricate, detailed question. Okay, let me see if I can answer that. Because sometimes I have never put words to certain things that I've done, and so this might be one of them. So let me see. Okay. So everybody has little areas. For everyone is different. Like for me personally, I'm going to tell you my area that coaxes me out. When I get trapped or stuck in a box or a corner and I cannot get out, like if you're a gamer and your avatar just keeps hitting the same freaking wall and you just cannot, you have to find new controls and you got to find new ways to move the avatar. So for me, the best way is to think about magic. Now, what I mean by that, to me, magic is everything from like the kind of magic that's on the planet right now, similar to like commercial magic, which is like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, really cool movies, really cool retro shows, like the yummy things that I love. or magical amusement rides, fun tech stuff, fun expo shows. Like I'm a little bit of a tech geek. So things like that pulls me out. Also, other things like when it's not commercial, it's more like internal. It's like when I tap in or I start meditating or going into my deepest magical realms, where I like to hang out and reside. So those are like my fairy elven kingdom places. And my, it's like my forest, like Merlin's forest, to the point, one of my darkest times, I wrote a book. I'll show it to you. And you can get it in my website. So I wrote this book when I was very depressed, actually. And it was about the dark night of the soul. It was about coming out. It was about finding, that was me when I turned into a troll. I turned into a troll because I was so mad at everybody. And it was my spiritual journey of how I went through Merlin's forest and how I discovered Merlin. But first I had to discover myself first. And I ran into all these creatures, which is my subconscious. And I ran into all these like principles and teachings and magical underworlds and caves. And then all the way till I found him. I kept going and going. This is how I get out of my holes. When I get stuck in a box, I start writing my way out, drawing my way out, singing my way out, talking my way out, going to fun places. And there's some poems. I recounted going back in time. Then I met my elven people. Then I went to Merlin's castle. I found Merlin eventually. At the end, by then I had gone through a ton of stuff. There's Merlin waiting for me in his ever-moving magical kingdom. This is all from my imagination. And this was before ChatGPT became really kind of popular because this came out last year. So I literally had to invent all of these illustrations. You can get it on my website as well. But I had to invent these illustrations based on my, where I was at. And I had to dig deep and I had to, it was like I was internally crying all the time about how I couldn't express myself or I couldn't be who I wanted to be on the planet. And why is everything taking so long? And why is everything so hard? And so I remember just having to go into like the littlest corners and recesses of my mind and my heart and my soul in the quietest moments in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. or when I'm driving or something where I'm by myself. And I would just feel like, who am I? And like, what do I want to feel? What magic do I want to experience? How do I want to do this? And then I would start creating things in my life. If it's not a big experience, like going to Universal Studios or something and riding the Harry Potter ride, if it's not something like that, then it's something like where I'm bringing magic into me. And there's so many people doing so many things that are magical in this world. If you go look, you can find it. People are just unbelievable. We always look at the negative, don't we? But if we look at the magic that people are bringing to this planet, there's so much magic around you. If you change your filters and you change the way you're looking at things, you're going to start to see there's hidden magic and there's magic in everything. And what is magic? What's the definition of magic? The unseen world, the unspoken world, the world that has not yet been seen or discovered, that is nameless, that has no label, that it is ongoing, evolving, redefining itself as it evolves in its own. It's almost like an amorphous experience of the self as you like discover and uncover who you are. So as you're doing that, you're in your magic, right? So there's no limits, there's no boundaries, you have no labels. You're just in your free flowing self that innate, eternal, and internal experience of yourself that we came to the planet with since we were little. We knew how to tap into that. We knew how to draw from that. When we were like little kids, we knew how to go into our magic. We knew how to play. We knew how to make believe. We knew how to have fun. We knew all the stuff before life started, right? But it's just going back to that. It's learning that we can have it all. We can have the adult version where we can be serious and we can have to deal with life and pay bills and do all the stuff. But then there's the child, and then there's the magic within, right? So my cat is here because she wants to participate. My black cat, come here. She's so shy all the time. Okay. So true. When you open to the magic, more comes. Yes. You're welcome, Keith. So yeah, like the channel if you like the channel, or like the video and subscribe. Also, that would be really helpful. So, okay, let's continue. So as you're reinventing yourself, I think the most important part of it is to know there's no limits. And that's the part where I didn't know yet exactly how to access that, because I heard that it exists, but I didn't know what that meant, because it meant like open air, like no limitations, no boundaries. I get to be as big and as wide and as free as I want to be. So how do I do that? Sounds very technically challenging. Does that live in the mind? Does it live in the heart? Does it live in the body? Where does it live? Where does it reside? How do you be that? How do you be that free? How do you be that expressed? So I always recommend to start small. You start where you are. Start with baby steps. Now, some of you out there, some of you wild ones, like to throw out your fishing line way out into the cosmos and create large things to pull you forward. Starting a large project, changing cities, moving out of the city to a new city, buying a new house, changing your whole lifestyle, changing your whole look from head to toe, changing your name. I've done all of this, by the way, but I would recommend for those of you who want to experience this freedom is to start small. So you would take baby steps and learn how to invent yourself in different areas in your life. So it could be reinventing just your room, changing the room to a whole new motif, a whole new way of seeing things, or maybe changing, give yourself little projects like, I'm only going to watch this kind of movie for the next 6 months and see what happens to my brain. Like you only watch magical movies, or you only watch historical movies, or you only watch documentaries, but positive, uplifting. Like you have to start small in how you're retraining your thinking, because it's more than just belief systems. It's also the actions you take, and it's your habits. It's your daily habits. Changing your entire diet, how you eat, what you put in your body, changing your entire friendship list on who you talk to. Some people have deleted their entire Instagram and Facebook and started completely over. Some people just went quiet for a couple years and didn't really talk to anybody, and then came out of hiding and you were like a new person. Like there's so many ways that you can reinvent. It really is just what's naturally your natural inclination. Why don't you share with me if you have done some major changes in your life? What was the most impactful one? Which is the one that actually made the biggest difference in your life, that you felt really, really pulled you forward and got you out of that corner pocket where you're stuck? You keep repeating in the darkness. What was the action you took? What was the biggest leap of consciousness that you took? The big action step that you took? Share it with everybody below so somebody can benefit. Okay. I kind of understand what you guys are saying, and I kind of don't. I don't know. So maybe it's like slang. I'm not sure. Maybe you're joking. I'm not sure. I can't tell. So I'm just going to chill with you guys for a minute. Not getting, Cassidy says, not getting pulled into the toxic narrative of others. Absolutely. So Christine says, the people and things I thought were important really were not. Bye-bye. You know, a lot of people felt this way during COVID. There was a lot of awakenings in COVID. A lot of people kind of like, ding, woke up and just went, what is happening? And so there's a lot of people who came through their matrix or like that routine-based, pattern-based behavior where you don't know why you do anything. You're just doing it because everybody tells you should do it. And you like pop out of that. And so you start thinking for yourself. And I think a lot of people, from what I know, a lot of people experience that during COVID. That's what they've told me. Chicken nuggets. Somebody's talking about chicken nuggets a lot. I don't know why. Chicken nuggets is what pulled you forward? Okay. You started eating chicken nuggets. That's your treat. Putting my spirituality out there to my family. That's a big deal, Nancy. You know, sometimes family can be the biggest judges in the world, right? That's a tough one. Family can be the roughest crowd. Sometimes that can be the roughest crowd. So, you know, to be who you are and not be defensive and to be who you are in your peace, you know, it's taken me a long time and I'm still learning it. Like you can go back to my past videos and if you're really astute and watch very carefully, you can see my transformation where it's self-acceptance, allowing myself to be vulnerable, allowing myself to be myself without defensiveness, allowing myself to just relax and be who I am no matter what, not needing to explain or push it down anybody's throat like that. You know, those are things I'm always learning because this is just a part of my evolution. And I think doing it on camera has its own set of craziness because you know, you're sharing yourself with people that you don't know around the world and anybody can say anything. And it's like, you have to be just really relaxed and comfortable in your skin and just know that it's okay. And it doesn't matter what anybody says anyway, because you're just here for yourself. But at the same time, you want to play and have fun with others. So those people who want to play and have fun with you and talk or learn from you, it's a party, you know, you can have fun. So you just have to stay in the right frame of mind. If any of you ever want to be public or are public with yourself in any shape or form, whether it's with people in person, family, or podcast, social media, when you want to like come out and be your spiritual self, and you know, you might receive weird feedback. Some people will embrace it. Some people will make fun of you. Some people will not understand it. Some people will be very religious about it. Some people will say, oh, it's about time and be like kind of condescending. So like, you know, people all have opinions and everybody says whatever they want to say. And it just doesn't matter because it's for you. You're doing everything for you. This is your journey. Okay. Oh, you put chicken nuggets before all else. Well, I totally understand that. Starting a small mediumship practice group with clients, friends, from healer space to more functioning, coming out. That is so cool. How to motivate yourself to get fitter. How do I motivate myself to get fitter? Well, you could do it the way I did it. I got very sick and was in the hospital constantly with high cholesterol, high blood pressure, hypertension. They call it brown fat, which is the fat that surrounds your organs, which is the most dangerous fat, visceral fat, was very high. And yeah, I was in danger of a heart attack or a stroke at any moment. That's what motivated me. You could go that far with it. That's how far I took it. So, you know, you can stop at any time. You can start at any time. It's just a matter of quality of life. If you want a good quality of life, which means you are peaceful and relatively peaceful anyway, throughout your day, from morning to night, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, if your quality of life is there, so you feel like life is worth living, feels good, and you like being here, and you're not just reacting to everything and surviving constantly, but you're just actually enjoying the process of being alive, then it becomes very important to you that your body feels good and you don't feel like you're going to die anytime. And I got to that point and I realized I have to be really serious about my health because of my predispositions in my family, and also because I had to understand menopause and what that was all about, and the emotional ups and downs and the eating and all that and the weight gain and all that comes with it. So I had to slow everything way, way down and really take inventory. It's taken me about 3 or 4 years to get control over my eating and myself and my emotions and balance my hormones. And now I'm okay. But it's like a well-oiled machine. I am very meticulous with my health. I'm very meticulous with my eating because I want to feel good every day. I want my muscles to be growing, not deteriorating. I want no aches and pains. I'm 52, going to be 53. I don't want creaks and aches and pains in my joints. I don't want a stiff back. I don't want cramps everywhere. I don't want sore feet. I don't want racing heart. I don't want migraines all the time. I don't want dehydration. I don't want foggy thinking. There's all these things I don't want because I want to enjoy the ride of life. I want to have fun. I want to play. I don't want to say to myself, oh, I guess this is the end. This is the slide downward to old age. I guess this is it. I guess this is where you deteriorate. I guess this is where we all just go downhill. Hell no way. I am 100% into rejuvenation and youthful living and youthful eating. I have done everything in my power to reverse engineer in every possible way my physical body, what I consume, the supplements I take. I absorb everything Dr. Mark Hyman says and everything Dr. Berg. Those are my 2 go-to people on the internet if you want to check them out. And I am dedicated. I'm on a strict keto diet now. I am dedicated to reverse engineering all my aches and pains and all my problems in my body. And I've done it and I'm doing it, but I can't stop because anytime I stop and reverse it and start eating carbs again and processed foods again and sugar again, there it starts up again. And there's the water weight and the joint pain and the migraines, and they all come back. And I'm like, Jesus, I just can't get out of this loop. So it's discipline. You have to really want to live a good life. You have to have a life that's worth living and fight for yourself. It's not just like who you're with and your partner and your family members. It's about you. It's about what you want to feel like when you get up in the morning. What's your quality of life? How important is it for you? Hang on. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying. Do I consider nuggets spiritual, chicken nuggets spiritual eating? Listen, I love chicken nuggets. I'm a huge fan of chicken nuggets in every format. Okay. So you're talking to the kid. I'm Aries in Chiron. So I'm a kid and I love chicken nuggets. Only way I can't have chicken nuggets that are breaded, that are deep fried in vegetable oil, because my body can't break down vegetable oil or canola oil because it's toxic when heated to a certain degree. And then, so it's considered toxic poison. So when I eat it, my whole body inflames. And that's where a lot of people get like a lot of diseases from that. Like they get autoimmune diseases from a lot of inflammation in the body. And that happens when you eat things or drink things the body doesn't recognize, or it doesn't understand what it is because it's not biological. So it turns into a compound that is not consumable, whether it's GMO or if it's vegetable oil that gets heated too high. I can't remember the degrees, but basically anything that's deep fried. So that's where you have the problem. And if you have chicken that have no hormones and they're free range and all that, that's great. But I would just do grilled chicken nuggets. You can make them look like chicken nuggets and just grill them instead. Like, don't deep fry them. That's my only advice. Whether it's spiritual, I think anything that feels good, that's not going to kill you or harm you, is spiritual from the term that you're kind of coming from, where you're coming from. So, getting tattoos could be a spiritual experience for someone, so it's just really how you interpret spiritual. So spiritual to me just means anything that is feeding the soul, that is taking care of the self, that has a surrendered, open, vulnerable heart that is always evolving and open to transformation. That's like a spiritual path. It's like it's in essence, you're being kind to yourself. You're doing things for yourself. Okay, let's see. Empath is putting your own feelings into someone is for feeling into someone is for narcissist. Rando, can you format your question? I don't know if that's a question. Can we ask about empath related questions? Of course. Hello, I'm an empath, of course. I teach anything and everything empath. You're going to have aches and pains whether you like it or not, and that's part of aging. That is true, but you can offset it a little bit. And so you can make a difference with inflammation. So we know that sugar creates inflammation. We know that saturated fats and processed foods create inflammation scientifically at the cellular level. And the mitochondria inside of your cells are not actually getting any nutrition. So you're actually not duplicating your cells properly. So what's happening is that there's inflammation around your joints, and then you start to get aches and pains more so, and when you don't need to. So are you going to get regular aches and pains from aging? Of course you are. But can you prevent it, and can you push it back, and can you lower the amount of aches and pains? Can you lessen it? Can you make it more tolerable? Can you make it like just natural aging, but not progressive natural aging? That's what I'm talking about. Hello, Rain. Okay. All right. So what is the empath question? What do you take to cleanse your body of heavy metals? That's a very good question. It's very detailed. You have to look up what Mark Hyman talks about, because I'm not a medical professional and I don't want to be giving medical advice in that way. But you can look up what Dr. Mark Hyman talks about, and also what Dr. Berg talks about when it comes to heavy metals. My experience with heavy metals, that was one of the first things I had to detox. So there was a lot of ways that I did it. I did liver flushes. I did a lot of hydration with electrolytes. I did red light therapy a lot. I did saunas. I started eating more supplementation and minerals, higher minerals to feed my glandular system so that I can start properly pumping out my adrenals and all my spleen and all my what are those organs called that flush? The flushing organs that flush out all of your toxins, like the kidneys and the liver and the spleen, but all the minerals that feed the glandular support to help boost the metabolism or the ability for those organs to do that. What is that called? The technical aspect of that? I don't know what that's called. It's called, it activates it. It feeds it. It gives it nourishment. It gives it the fuel it needs to do its job properly. So the gallbladder is moving properly. The kidneys are doing what they need to do properly. The spleen is doing what it needs to do properly. The kidneys, liver, everything. And especially if you were an alcoholic or you drank like I did for 13 years, you have to do a lot of that flushing. And you just keep doing these in a healthy, controlled way by kind of following what the doctors have talked about on those two doctors. And then what happens is eventually you start getting this cleaner circulation and cleaner glandular support and cleaner system and cleaner everything. And your blood starts to clean out and clean out and clean out, and you sweat it out and you work out and you start doing cardio and you start cleaning out your blood. That's how I did it. And I'm not a doctor or a scientist, so I'm not going to use all the professional scientific and doctor language. I'm just telling you what I did for myself. Okay. You haven't got super brain powers. I may suggest that you have an issue with hearing voices. Please get help and rejoin society. Okay, Rando, I'll do it your way. You should teach the class. As a matter of fact, why don't you put in the chat exactly how people should do it, and everybody will do it the way you want to, because you're the one, I guess, with the super brain. So everybody, let's do it. Rando says, because he has the super brain and he knows what society is all about. So let's settle in and learn from Rando. Come on, Rando, let us know. Okay. Oh, this is a wild crowd today. I guess I don't have my filters on. Usually I have my comment filters on, but I don't this time, and I can definitely see the difference. And you guys could tell, those of you who are on my chats on a regular basis, you see what happens when I don't have my chat filters on. You get the wild crowd. You get the whole zoo shows up. So we have pornography here. Okay. Lymphatic system. Thank you. That is what I'm trying to say. Lymphatic system. Okay. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I would love to know what helped you. Actually, Isaac, that's exactly what I did. Oh yeah, you guys, those of you who are regulars of mine, you guys have to get a sense of humor, because we're with the wild open public right now, which is really fun, because I normally have chat moderation, but I don't today. So it's actually really fun to see all the wild stuff going on. So how I got out of alcoholism, the way I did it was I did all the things I mentioned before, which was the glandular support. And I had to take a lot of minerals and supplements to feed my blood and to rebuild my glandular support, because my adrenal system was totally burned out. My hormone system was non-existent. So I was like in fight or flight mode, and I was just hanging by a thread. And, here I had these 5 children and I was recuperating. And the reason I was an alcoholic is because I was always suffering from parental alienation with the 2 fathers. So I was in and out of court all the time trying to battle custody. And it was so stressful. I mean, I had to work full time and support myself and support my kids. And it was really hard. And so that's why I would drink after work. And I was one of those quiet alcoholics, like not visibly, you can't really tell. Like I would just be doing normal life. But yeah, it almost killed me. It almost killed me. Like there was one day I had my last drink, and it was the last drink I could have, and my body shut down. And I went into like withdrawals and shakes for 5 days as I laid in bed and fought for my life. And I begged God I would quit and I would never do it again. And I'd never touched it since. It was like a cold turkey, just shut down. I just stopped drinking. But I also spent like 3 to 4 years doing everything I mentioned before. So I did all the like supplementation, minerals. I did the red light therapy. I did saunas. I did superfoods, a lot of like green foods, a lot of green powders, spirulina, things that like detoxifies. I did a lot of detoxification. Then I learned that you could do too much. If you do too much detoxification too fast, then also you can have an issue there. So you have to like do it in moderation. So it took me several years. I think not to scare you, but it took me 5 years total. Okay. It took me 5 years because I drank every day for 13 years. So it took me 5 full years to get my body to where all my blood work and all my levels were actually perfect. And I was in healing, constant recalibration. So I was in homeostasis after that. But it was like I was relentless. Like I did not stop my healing journey to get my body and my organs back, because I'm a mother and I also want to live. And so it was a big deal for me. So I hope you guys, if any of you are thinking of like quitting alcohol or trying to quit alcohol, you could do it and you could heal yourself. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Oh, I see. So he's not. he's not doing very well. So I had to I'm sorry, you guys, I had to hide that user because usually I let people have their own opinion, but he sounded like he was trying to instigate something. So I let him go. Okay. I've tried cold turkey. It never works. You're talking about what you tried. Why did it work the most to start? Okay. Not making it available helps for me. Yes. Would you say your biggest help was the want to get better? Yeah, that's what it was. I think for me, what forced me into sobriety, if you want to look at it that way, because I wasn't going to definitely stop anytime soon on my own. I wasn't going to do it myself because I was too addicted, and I leaned on it for every reason under the sun. And it was emotional for me. And I had such a traumatic background in PTSD that it was like the only thing that I could function. Like I couldn't function. I was like a functioning alcoholic, so I couldn't actually function without it, is how I felt, because I had drank for so long. So what actually did it for me was almost dying. See, and that's the thing, being a stubborn Taurus. All the things that I've learned in my life, I always take it too far. So I always take it to, I'm almost dying, or I'm at the ER too many times, or my levels are too high, or like the doctor scares me. I always take it until like the big red line until everybody's like, okay, you're going to die now. So I'm like, okay. So I don't know why I'm like that. It could be that my soul is just very immature, or it could be I'm a Taurus, or it could be I'm just impulsive. I don't know what part of my personality won't listen to anybody unless like it has to smack me in the face. Okay. So I'm not like that anymore, but it seems to be in my disposition. It's like I go. And then like, I see other people like they use logic and they're like, I should probably stop and let me just stop. I wait until it's almost too late. That's the secret formula. Okay. So you don't really want to do it the way I do it, but if you have no choice, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You have to actually just tell yourself, look, eventually the studies show, and science is pretty clear, that if I keep drinking poison, I'm probably going to die. So that's kind of how this logic works. And it's 100% true. Some people drink for their whole lives and they live to a ripe old age and they drink wine and it's fine. I can't even do that. Even with the sulfites, I can't even do that. My body's now become allergic to alcohol. I had one drink. It was 3 days ago. I wanted to test it out. I was with some friends at a function and I took a tiny sip and it was like poison. And I just couldn't even do it. I had to like put it down. I just can't even do it. So I just wanted to see what it tasted like, because I don't even have it in my house. I don't have alcohol. I used to have a bar in my house at all times. I had constantly alcohol bottles, but I don't have any alcohol. I don't hang out with people who drink, and I don't drink when I go out. So I have other ways to express myself. To put it lightly, I have other ways to express myself. There's other ways to share who I am with the world other than through alcohol. That's the fastest way to say it. Okay. How do you deal with sensing and feeling people's energies and thoughts as an empath? I find myself having to cut folks off. Is there a better way to do? I know. I've done every way that you can imagine. I have done every single way. I have kept them in my life. I have cut them out. I have been neutral. I have been clear and told them I'm not interested. Here's what works for me now. This is what I'm doing now. What I'm doing now is I feel like being neutral is best. So I don't say anybody's right or wrong. I don't engage in conversations that, like, I don't allow myself to get sucked into anything. Okay. So just because somebody says something doesn't mean that you have to respond or you have to defend yourself, or it doesn't mean that you have to fight for your position or that they're going to do something to you, because that's one of the things I learned from this. And I learned this over the years, after many, many years. I learned that if you really are who you say you are and you really are feeling what you're feeling and you're really surrendered to that, nobody can take that from you because it's who you are. It's like your truth. It's your ultimate truth. So in that space, you can have conversations with anyone and anyone about anything. If it's like in this case, this one viewer was starting to talk pornographically. So in this forum, because I have my own forum here and I say who comes and goes, this is a perfect example. I don't have to tolerate it. I don't have to be a part of it. So I can just block it if I want. If it seems like there's no common sense or there's no sanity around it, like you're not making sense, or the person's not wanting to even get to know you, they're just wanting to spew rhetoric at you, then you can decide whether or not you need to be a part of that conversation. What I don't do anymore is I don't have to cut people off really hardcore. Like that's the really hardcore cutting people off part of me. I stopped doing that several years ago. I did it one last time. And it was a big reaction. Like I was triggered and it was a big reaction because the person like went off on me inappropriately. And so then I like in person and like I cut them off like for good because it was so disrespectful. And now I don't regret it. But would I do it different? I think now what I would do if somebody were like that, I would listen to what they're saying because it's not having any effect on me. It's not that I'm stubborn or I can't hear it. It's just, it's their issue. It's what they're experiencing, or it's their truth. It's what they're experiencing. So I just listen. I don't need to do anything. So now I don't even have to put any walls up or barriers. I don't have to cut people off. Now I just do my life. I'm just myself. I'm just relaxed. And in this case, if it was inappropriate at this level, then I would block the person. So, but that's only if you have like certain boundaries that are like, if they cross certain lines that are super inappropriate for you, like say, like violence, physical violence, threats, or like instigating some sort of like wanting to get a fight, like being very like to a degree where it's like dangerous or something. Like, I guess that's would be my line. Right now, I'm at a place where you can pretty much say anything. And I don't feel like I'm having to defend myself or I have to like protect myself. I just look at you like, okay, that's where you're at. And that's what you're thinking. And that's perfectly fine. And it's not exactly where I'm at, where I'm thinking, and that's perfectly fine. And there's nothing wrong and there's no one wrong. And you can have your opinion and I can have my opinion. It's totally okay. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But it takes some time to get to that place. You walk yourself through it because after a while you get a little like, it makes your nervous system really like very jarred to have to cut people off. It's like very painful. And so I don't like to always do that because it hurts my feelings more than I want it to. I would rather it be more peaceful. So that's where I'm at now. There are people that I don't go back into my history, into my past and try to rekindle relationships. I don't try to go and fix things, even with my new realizations. I still don't, because their belief systems are not where I'm at and my belief systems are not where they're at. And we don't share those same belief systems. And if they want to come into my life and make friends with me, they can, and talk to me, they can. But if I have no interest or I'm not trying to, it just kind of stays where it's at. I'm not going to go to where they're at. They're not going to come to where I'm at. We kind of just leaving each other where we're at. And maybe that'll change in time, but that's just kind of where it is right now. I don't feel bad about it. In the beginning, when I was making bigger cuts, like strong lines with people, it felt good at first, but then it started to be very painful. I didn't like it. So that's my take on it. Okay. Does alcohol stop you from connecting? That's a good question, Ball. Well, you know how Riz always talks about how the word alcohol comes from is it Latin or it's Middle Eastern Arabic? It's alcohol. I think it's pronounced like alcohol or something like that, which means spirits. And you always see this, spirits are sold here. So basically, the reason why that term came to be is because when you have alcohol in your system, you're vibing at a lower vibration. And so you welcome a lower vibratory field of spirits, that people on the other side who can mess with you in ways you don't want them to. So some people, have walk-ins, like where they try to like get into your framework and try to mess with your head and mess with your heart and your emotions, and they play with you. It's a whole nother topic, you guys. That's too detailed for me to go into right now. I know that was a big one, but I don't normally go into those topics, but it is such a thing. And so that's what spirits, low vibrational consumption of anything, whether it's food, drink, alcohol, drugs, anything that's lower vibrational, you are hanging out in a lower vibratory field where other beings exist in the non-physical. So keep that in mind. So when you're hanging out in low vibrational settings, low vibrational food, drink, media, mindset, communication, you are attracting that vibration around you. Isaac, I've been trying to stop for years. Thank you so much for your input. I've been at the line or death scenario, but after a couple weeks, I come back to the same place. Do you feel it's willpower or another reason? Alcohol and willpower. No, actually, I think alcohol is logic. In the terms of alcohol, it's logical to quit. So if you go to logic and you use mathematics and science, that's going to help you. It's more neutral. It's kind of like black and white. It's just the facts, please. So you'll see that if you continue, your body and will stop functioning in one way or another, especially if it's like 40% volume. It's like super, super toxic. All alcohol is bad, but some are worse than others, right? So, yeah. Okay. What about passive aggressive behaviors? Okay. Working on this now. Very, very helpful. Thank you. Abby, good question. Raymond, yeah, good question. Awesome, you guys. Well, I hope you're enjoying this little spiritual drop-in. I hope this has been good for you guys. I've wanted to take this opportunity to kind of share certain things that are going on. So to recap, before I go, I want to share with you a new episode that Erica and I are going to be doing in the future for Mother's Day called Divine Mother. And also she'll be bringing her astrology to the table in the 4th house, in the house of mother. And you're going to also understand more about your own divine mother within you that mothers yourself and heals, and the divine mother goddess, where the goddess lives in all of us. Okay. And then also, this is a new challenge I'm really excited about. So it is a giveaway. It's a comment challenge. So if you go to our main YouTube page and click post, there's all the rules, but basically including this video and the last 5 videos, if you comment, you and everyone else, not just you by yourself, but you and everyone else enter to win this raffle, and you comment a unique positive comment or many, and we get to 200, I think it's 200 or 250. It's on the rules. I can't remember. I think it's 200. One person will be selected and getting a free Riz the Wiz Oracle deck, which is super cool. And then last but not least, just to remind everybody, so I created 4 classes that you can take. It's a private YouTube class, so you would just pay for it, and then we give you the link before the show starts, and you will sit with me for these 4 topics. You can ask questions. You don't have to show your face, and it's an intensive, and I will go through each and every one of these 4 classes with you guys. You can take one or take them all, and it's how to reinvent yourself. It's basically the healer's path. It's understanding darkness, understanding how to get out of the darkness, how to heal from the darkness. You can see more about it on the web link there, and it's also in the chat box above. This is great for people who are already healers. This is great for people who want to become a healer, are wanting to learn how to help other people, how to take care of your own energy field, how to remove darkness completely from your life and not have to ever worry about that again. You can learn how to do that step by step, literally. And how to be a light worker in dark times. So how to be in your light and not let the darkness affect you, and how to navigate. Also how to heal after the dark night of the soul. So after you come out of your unawakened unconscious state and you come into your awakening, how do you heal your bodies? How do you get back on track? How do you go back to normal? And let me drop the link for this course. And there's 4 dates. And it's live. Let me get that for you. Okay. I think it's here. Let me see where I put it. Actually, I know where it's at. I dropped it in the post. If you guys want to go to the post, you'll see it there too. I also have the link there. But I'm going to drop the link here for you. 1 second. Okay. Let me refresh. And there's the link. Riz will be coming back hopefully this week. He's going to be coming back. We're going to be doing some shows, me and him. Also, I'm going to be doing a show with Erica this week, the Fingers Crossed Goal, and also Psychic Pizza Party this Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's what we'll be taking your psychic mediumship questions. We'll be having a lot of fun in our new set. Right now, we're upgrading all our equipment. It's a really big, huge process. And so it's taking all week. So we're trying to get some filming done this week. We're going to do our best. But at the end of the day, we're going to have new cameras and new Wi-Fi kind of situation, new internet. So everything's going to be awesome. Okay. Can you post the regular page? You can't see it with the chat. Yes. Sunny in California. Yes, it is. I was just about to get off when all of you guys now are just starting to get on from the show. Oh my gosh. Is that you, E? Are you laughing? I was just going to get off and Anahata came on and Paul came on.
Is everybody on now?
Oh, now everybody's coming on as I'm about to leave. You guys, what the heck?
Hey guys.
So I was just updating everybody. What should I do now that you guys just came on? What am I going to do? So, okay, hold on. Let me just like review. If you guys have any, if you give me 2 more questions, you guys, I'll answer 2 more questions. And let me just put my little ad here again, a little reminder for those of you who are new. So challenge, comment, giveaway, raffle, super exciting. You guys, all you have to do is give a unique comment, as many as you want. Do not copy and paste. Hopefully make it good and positive. Make sure you're subscribed. And that's how you enter to win. And what you do is with the last 5 videos, including this one, when I'm done, comment. Blow up my comments. And then what I'll do is I'll go back, and when we hit our goal of 200 comments, I will select one and I will be sending you the Riz the Wiz Oracle deck. And we have a lot of other fun giveaways, including a shaman drum coming up in the future, private readings either with me, Riz, or Erica. And my Oracle deck, the House Witch deck, that's also one of the prizes. Also a shaman kit set. There's all kinds of fun things coming up for future challenges. But right now in this challenge, you're getting the Riz the Wiz deck. So make sure you comment as many times as you can in the last 5 videos. Do it as soon as possible. It starts today. Okay, so let me see if there's any questions from the new people that just came in. We were talking, if you guys want to know what we were talking about alcoholism, how to heal from alcoholism. We went over that. We went over how to reinvent yourself. We talked about boundaries and neutrality as an empath. We talked about healing your nervous system. We've talked about how not to care so much what people think. Oh, I have to tell Erica, you guys, what just happened. So because I logged in without setting up the schedule prior and setting the moderate settings on the chat for like filters. Yeah. So it was the Wild West. Oh yeah. So, yeah. So it was like anybody could say anything. So I had a little pornography statements from some people. I had somebody challenging whether or not I should be institutionalized. It was all kinds of fun stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I forgot. I forgot to do the moderation. I forgot to do the filter. Oops. That was fun. I was like, woo, wow. It was a rocky ride here for a second. A little party. Okay. Okay. You can hang out here. You could totally hang out here. Yeah. Okay. They want me to stay a little bit more. You know, right now, Abby, we're not doing any more Psychic Couple Reacts for a while because we have so many other shows we're trying to get them out and get them done. So one of them is with me and E for all the topics we talk about, including astrology. The other one is more of the drop-in conversations that are more serious between me and Riz. And those do include a lot of paranormal conversations and Bigfoot and things like that. So that will be in the separate one. Those are our drop-in segments. Those are it's a playlist called drop-in deep dives. And then Riz has his trance channeling videos, which is just him solo channeling. And then we have our psychic pizza party on Sunday. So those are 4 segments per week. We're trying to get those out. That's why we don't have time or space to do any Psychic Couple Reacts videos, even though I know they're fun. But I know we'll go back to them at some point and we'll do a few more. Okay. Oh, you want the shaman drum. You don't need musical talent to have a shaman drum. You can sit on the couchy. Mm-hmm. I like that poop. Nancy said it was crazy. It was the Wild West. Okay. Hi. Ball says hi. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Thank you, Paul. I'll be singing Boy George for the night. Huh? How to heal. What's that word right here? Sciatica?
Oh yeah, that's the lower back nerve.
Yeah. So sciatica is always about being supported. It's always about, am I being supported? Does the earth support me? Does the world support me? Does the universe support me? Does my family support me? Do I support me? And am I supported? So basically, am I safe on the planet? Am I supported? I just want to know that. And if I'm not, I'm probably going to take it out of my body. So that's kind of what you're feeling. The body is reacting to that. So this is the area of the body, the seat of the soul. This is by the root chakra. This is in your sciatic nerve. And this is your lower back. So this is all support. So look into how you feel about that topic. If you feel supported or not, in what area, you got to take a fine-tooth comb and comb through it. By the way, you guys, I started rewatching Skinwalker Ranch from the beginning. So I'm prepped and ready to go for, I think it's season 3 or 4.
I'm gonna start watching.
Oh my God. It's so good. It's even better the second time around. Because the first time was when it first came out, but now I'm starting to see like all these little details and things I didn't notice and all these little nuances that are so cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm showing, by the way, I don't have my glasses on. I'm sort of seeing this. And then if I get too close, then for some reason it's blurry. So I'm just having a lot of eye stuff today.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. What does that say? I'm slowing down at the moment, so I will finally able to get back to watching you guys. So excited for new content coming. Aww. Nice. Paul says, why doesn't Erica get on? What's your reason?
I don't know.
She's not camera ready. She's not camera ready, yeah. And she's not ready to come on the way she is right now. Oh, you can clear your house and land with a shaman drum. That is correct. Anahata, thank you. You're welcome. I love Skinwalker Ranch. Me too. Hello, guys. Carla. Oh my God. More of our people are coming on.
Well, yeah.
I'm trying to get off. I'm trying to, because everybody's now getting home. I'm trying to get off now. I was about to sign off and now everybody's showing up from our group.
Well, now we know like 90 something.
Oh my God. Okay. What platform is the show on? Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Balsing tried to get an invite to a session at school to make a drum with an Aborigine class. That's awesome. That's awesome. I had a gallbladder taken out about 10 years ago. I had my gallbladder taken out. Whatever, Erica, Paul says. Look at his faces. Hey, we were going to ask Paul a question. I'm going to ask him now because I bet you forgot to email him.
Yep.
So, Paul, we have a question for you. So, do you remember our first show with me and E, and we did a astrology type of call-in? So the person called in and asked the question, and then it was on a particular house, right? So, would you like to be the one that comes in and we do a little astrology reading on a particular house in a particular area that you would like to focus on or work on? If yes, let me know and Erica will email you and we'll work out the details. And maybe the next show we do, we'll do that. We'll have to work around your schedule because I know you are 4 hours ahead. So we'll have to figure that out. Okay. That's so cool. Hello and blessings to everyone. Glad I made it. Oh my God, more people now.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm going to be on here forever, you guys. I was on here for like an hour or so and I was like, okay, well, it's time to get off.
Oh my gosh.
And then everybody's now showing up.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, listen, you guys, the only way I'm going to stay on, there's only one way. Look at how it stopped. Oh, it's because of this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still doing my video. No, I'm not. Okay.
Wait.
There's only one way I'll stay on, you guys. You have to ask me a question. It's the only way. Because if you ask me a question, then I'll stay on because I will give you probably a long answer and then I'll stay on. You guys don't understand. I was signing off and like 6 of you came on. Hey, everybody, what's going on? And I'm like, what the heck? Okay. You will never leave. I could hear Rain Monet, but I heard how she said it. You will never leave. What was that? What?
I said, hey, Rain.
Oh, yeah. Ball is telling Paul, do it, Paul. Okay, here's what Paul says. I've gotten my chart done, but I don't understand it much. So why not?
Yeah.
Always nonchalant.
Yeah.
Always so chill.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Sure, why not? Why not? Let's just try it. Okay. Any topic? It could be any topic you guys want to talk about. This is our spiritual check-in show. It's a little spiritual check-in throughout the week. A little temperature reading, give you guys a little updates and a little place where I could put all my updates and what we're doing and all the shows and all the fun little challenges and stuff we have coming and shows we have coming up. And then also find out where you guys are at, give you a little pep talk, kind of encourage you. Can you please show me your racks? Does that say racks or backs? What does that say? Racks? Show me your... Is this a porn statement again?
Like,
I guess this person...
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I have a question on the deck when we get to it. Do we need to do any clearing? You can. You can do clearing if you want and do a little ceremony if you want for fun and do like a little saging, but it's already so supercharged, you guys. It's such a high powered deck, but yes, you can make it as special and ceremonial as you want to. Of course, always.
You can connect.
Abby says, oh God, another perv. I think, Teapot before he says no. Wait, hold on. His name is Teapot. He's saying no, no, no. Here he is. Who knows if he's 12 years old? Let me just, for the sake of everybody, let me just hide this user. But in the future, like if anybody wants to talk about porn, there's other sites for that. Yeah, so we're good. Bye, Teapot. Somebody said, I got to play it cool. Yes, you do, Paul. Love the red hair, by the way. Thank you. Stay away from the pot tea. He's a perv. Can we talk about codependency with family and trying to distance ourselves from that? Ooh, as an empath, it's so hard. I know. It can be hard. It's just tricky. It's for very advanced souls, you guys. Come on. Let's get real. Being an empath means you need to know a lot of technology. This is not for the faint of heart. To be a highly sensitive empath, that means you have to have a lot of your brain power working, a lot of CPUs running in your computer hard drive. You have to be very, very astute and attuned and very intelligent and very wise to what's happening to you. So it requires a lot, and that's probably why you chose it. So that means you can handle it. It is just you have to learn how to do it. And I talked a lot about it on this show too. If you guys rewind, and I covered a lot of this. What's so spiritual about you guys? Here, let me just drop in my link to my website, and you can find out an answer to that question. Oh, I always have to keep it like this. Okay. If you guys want to know who we are, what we're all about, I just put the link for those of you who are new, and have just dropping in and seeing what's going on. So that's the link where we deal in all things psychic phenomenon, anything metaphysical, anything psychic, intuitive, empathic, any modality, psychic abilities, trance channeling, anything in the cosmic realms, any unseen things, any paranormal things. We are there and we want to talk about it. So that's what we're doing. Okay, let's see. And this is just a check-in. So you're seeing me kind of like on an off day. That's what this is. This little segment. Lady O, how does someone do an astrology chart or birth chart without knowing an actual time they were born? It's a little hard. There's some variance. I think we found out some things, which is there's certain things we know about just by your year that you were born that we can say, we can find out a lot. The only thing we won't know is your rising, right?
Yeah, you won't know the rising, and there's you know, a slight lack of precision.
A slight lack of precision in case, I don't know if you guys can hear E.
So certain houses you might not have right, but you can get a general overview without knowing your birth time.
Right.
Or even if you just know if it was like morning, afternoon, or evening, that helps.
Yeah. Oh, Stuti, where have you been, girl?
Oh, hey.
So, Stuti, just so you know, I was trying to get off 15 minutes ago and no one's letting me because they're just coming on. All of our peeps are coming on right now. And I'm just like, I'm trying to leave and say goodbye. I was on the phone. I was already here talking to you guys for like an hour and I was signing off. And then like 7 of you from our group, our regulars, started coming on and I couldn't just leave. So now I'm really stuck here right now. And everybody's like, you cannot leave. So you just joined a very impromptu spiritual check-in, and you can rewind this show, Stuti, and find out what we were talking about. Dr. Ace, I'm a highly sensitive empath and feel everyone's energy. Yes, of course. Are you pregnant? Oh, is this another porn? This is what happens when I don't do chat moderation. It's just porn. Well, I'm very flattered that I bring up a lot of porn conversations for you guys. I must, I don't know. I pull that out of people, huh?
Yeah, well,
I guess I pull out the porn in you, huh? What can we say? Are you pregnant? No, and I wish I was. I will always wish I'm pregnant for the rest of my life.
You're pregnant with positivity.
I'm pregnant with positivity. I'll give him one more shot if he does more porn. He's out. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. There are receiving empaths and broadcasting empaths. Both need to shield. Okay, that's very complex and deep, and I think I have to break that down another time. Yeah. Dr. A said she was born October 7th, 1979, in the morning sometime. You know, you can get a reading from E If you go to her website, it's Starpath Astrology, right?
Yeah.
Starpathastrology.com.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you haven't left yet. Just wanted to say hi. It's been too long. We won't let you go. We missed you guys last week. I'm a broadcaster. Well, Anahata, I don't know where you got those two terms, receiver and broadcaster. I personally wouldn't use those terms because I feel like I'm both, and I feel like it's just a matter of how much you understand your it's like mastering your empathic nature, how to understand how to live as a highly sensitive individual. And once you start to really understand it, you become more confident, more peaceful, and more able to share information. So therefore you end up becoming, I guess, a broadcaster. I guess that's where that comes in. But you're always receiving. You never stop receiving. That's ongoing. If you are not receiving, then you're not an empath. The end. Starpath Astrology, here I come. How cute. Rain Monet, I've never heard of that broadcaster empath. Interesting. Okay, guys. Well, just so you know, I'm going to leave soon. Is there a stone or crystal we can carry to help us deal with crazy energy? Yes. Obsidian.
Yeah.
Do we have an obsidian over there? Obsidian. It absorbs and it blocks. I believe in historical times, in the kingdoms of like Persia and India and Egypt, they used black obsidian to block energies. They used it in really big ways. And we don't use it as much as they did, but this is what it looks like. So let me see if I can get the fingerprints off of it. Okay, there we go. So this is black obsidian. We got a bunch of these. You can get them anywhere that sells stones. So black obsidian is like, even when you hold it, you can feel that it's like the density and the color palette is just an absorber of energies. And you have to remember, you guys, how stones work. There's one important factor that people fail to mention when they talk about stones is you absolutely need to be a believer, and you need to activate it with your own internal belief systems and your it's communicating with you. You're communicating with it. It's frequency and frequency. So you're charging it. You have your own what's the word I'm trying to, it's an I word.
Intention?
Yes. Intention. So you're trying to, get it to do something for you. So it's there for you, but you have to have an intention. So that's how stones work. You don't just pick it up and go, oh, I hope it works. You have to actually believe in it, because that intentionality behind it is what's going to activate it. Okay. Carrying obsidian and quartz. Good. Not on purpose. Didn't realize that I was doing it for years. I can raise or lower the emotional temperature of a room unless I ground. Yeah. You know what she sent you, Paul sent you his birth info. So the thing that I have done, and I'm notorious to do, is burn out electrical things. So like if I get too mad or intense, something stops working. So it's like the phone won't work, or the laptop freezes, or something will happen because I'm just like vibing too strong and I'm too angry or something, and I disrupt the crystals that are inside. There's a little crystal inside the laptop, and I think in the cell phone, I believe. So what happens is it's sensitive to vibration, and so I'm emanating all this like intense negative vibration, and I can short circuit different electrical things, and I've done that many times. And last, I'm going to take this last one before I go, you guys. Did you guys see the new color they found in the science community recently? I felt like I've seen that color in my meditation. What is that? Send it to me. Be careful carrying sharp stones with soft stones. Yes. Oh, yeah. Good point, Anahata. Absolutely. Keep them separate. The sharp stones, keep them separate from the round stones. And also make sure they're little baggies or whatever, because yes, they will damage each other, because some of them are very soft. Okay. Well, I hope this was a fun little uplifting little spiritual check-in with you guys. And looking forward to seeing you the rest of the week. Looking forward to seeing you with myself, Lady O and E, when we do our astrology show, and we have Paul on. So we'll do that hopefully at the beginning of the week. Hopefully we can get our new cameras up and running and everything perfect. And that's the goal. And then Riz and I are going to try to do our drop-in deep dive conversation. And then we're also going to he's going to do his solo channeling is the goal. These are all goals. Okay. These are goals for the week. If everything works out perfect with our equipment upgrade. Also a psychic pizza party with our new set, psychic pizza party, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard with me and Riz. And we're taking your psychic medium questions. So it's a really jam-packed week. Plus we have the comments giveaway raffle. You guys comment as much as you can, as much as you want. Don't copy and paste, but it has to be original, and do as many as you can. And the last 5 videos, including this one, and the first video to reach 200, I pick a person and send you the Riz the Wiz Oracle deck. And also don't forget the Healer's Path 4 classes I posted and listed. It's on this video. You can rewind it. And basically, we're just going over the dark night of the soul and how to get out of the darkness and how to reinvent and how to get back on your feet and how to heal and how to know you're even in darkness. So if you're in pain, suffering, or darkness and you want to get out, here's the ways to do it. And I have 4 classes. You sign up, you join us on a private YouTube channel. We send you the link and you watch it. And you can ask questions, and that's how it works. And it's all happening. And we're trying to get as much as possible in before we leave. Our next retreat, I believe, is to Glastonbury. We go to Sedona, and then after that is Glastonbury.
No. And after that,
no, Shasta. So we have. I forgot we had another Shasta, and that one's booked, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Sedona next, which I'm going to go with Riz. Then we have Shasta next. I may or may not go to that one, and then we have Glastonbury, which are very excited. And I don't know if we're full on that one. Do we have room for one more if somebody wanted to go?
Yeah.
Okay. We might be able to squeeze in one more person. We're pretty full. It's a big, pretty decent sized group, but it's going to be super fun at Merlin's Cave. And we're going to see Stonehenge and all that, you guys. It's this year. If you want to do it, I'll drop in the, let me see if I can drop in the link. Give me 1 second. You know, when I have my own engineer, everybody's going to miss all this. Me doing everything myself, business, making a ton of mistakes, business. Okay, let me just drop it in for those of you who are considering or wanting to go to Stonehenge, Glastonbury, hang out with me and Riz channeling Merlin, the whole thing. Okay, you guys. I hope you're happy and healthy and well, and I hope this was all